C, the Detroit Tigers, and D, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Did you say 2 or 3?
3.
Okay, phew, we're good there. That's what caught me up.
All right.
So Reds, White Sox, Tigers, or Pirates?
Let's go with the Cincinnati Reds.
That is incorrect.
I was hoping you'd guess one of the two I was thinking of, and then like it could cross one out.
Chicago White Sox, Detroit Tigers, or Pittsburgh Pirates?
I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Incorrect.
Was it the Tigers?
Incorrect again.
Oh, was
Chicago White Sox. Chicago White Sox.
Okay.
All right,
I'd have
these
been
are a little
wrong either way.
harder than I thought.
All
right.
Yeah, dude. None of us were alive in 1940
Well, yeah, but he's the only person to throw a no-hitter in baseball
on opening day. But
on opening day.
I mean, yeah, that's a good question. But fuck, dude.
It's brutal.
It's tough.
At least we got options. We had 25% chance.
That's true. All right, let's do opening day for 2.
Opening day for 2. So this is you have to get both to get 2 points here. So these 2 presidents are the only presidents who have not thrown an opening day All-Star game or World Series pitch, opening pitch.
As president?
In office.
Oh,
as president.
Okay, while president.
Okay, William Taft. A. B. JFK. C. Jimmy Carter. D. Richard Nixon. And E. Donald Trump.
Well, one is Donald Trump. He never threw a pitch as president.
That is correct. You get a point.
The second one, I'm gonna say, fuck, dude. I mean, William Taft, dude. That's like the early fucking. I'm gonna say, but damn, dude, he probably definitely did. That's why you threw that in there. I'm gonna go out on a limb, dude. I'm gonna say JFK.
JFK is incorrect. Eddie, you can steal a point.
Can I get the answers repeated, please?
Is it Taft, Carter, or Nixon?
Nixon.
Incorrect. It is Jimmy Carter. William Taft.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised on that one.
Nixon definitely threw out a pitch because he used to. He was the governor of California, wasn't he?
That was Reagan.
Oh yeah. No, wasn't Nixon from California
isn't
too?
Carter wasn't he a fucking college athlete though?
He did not throw out a.
That's crazy. That's why I just ruled him out. I was like, no, I think he played football in like college.
Yeah. William Taft was the first president to throw out an opening day pitch.
Yeah, that's when baseball was like the only sport in America too. So it was like,
yep.
Yeah. Good question, Ben. All right, potpourri for 3.
2 questions left. Potpourri for 3 and beer me for 3. Potpourri for 3. Which team won the very first professional basketball game in 1946? This team played in the Basketball Association of America, which merged with the National Basketball League to form the NBA 3 years later. Was it the Knicks, the Philadelphia Warriors, the Chicago Stags, or the Boston Celtics?
1946.
Yep.
The Chicago Stags.
It was not the Chicago Stags.
The Warriors.
Incorrect. It was the New York Knickerbockers. Who blew a huge lead yesterday. 16 points.
Yes, they did.
The Nets.
Yes, they did.
All right. Beer me for 3.
Right, this one's probably the hardest one.
I mean, it's been pretty brutal.
Yeah, sorry,
so far.
I didn't realize I was making.
And went fucking all out, dude. I think he was like, "Oh, you think it's funny I'm losing? How fucking dumb you guys are."
I mean, I still think last week's was harder, but after all my easy questions the previous weeks, I had to step it up a little bit. So.
Fair enough.
Oh shit!
All right, Jordan. Who is the first and only president to brew his own beer in the White House? Was it A, Jimmy Carter, B, Bill Clinton, C, George W. Bush, or D, Barack Obama?
Jimmy Carter.
Incorrect.
Oh, what?
Eddie, was it Clinton, Bush, or Obama?
It's got to be Clinton. Actually, it's probably Bush. Fuck.
This is
Clinton,
for the W, by the way.
I know. It's a lot of pressure, and I don't know the answer. I mean, Clinton is like the most gangster president we ever had, though. Just throw that out there so I could totally see him doing this. At the same time, Bush, his last name, dude, Bush Beer.
Texas, man. Yeah, it's spelled differently, but
it's similar enough.
He said Bush
And
Beer.
he was just crazy enough to do it. I'm gonna go with George Bush.
Jordan for the W. It was D. Barack Obama.
Really?
What's Obama fucking doing out there, dude?
Surprisingly, Barack was the first president to.
I would have, dude. That was my last guess. That would have been my last one. I would have guessed.
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't even thinking about Obama the whole time.
I did a beer tasting the other day with some trivia attached to it, and these three were questions from that. So
interesting.
Actually, I got two of those three right. So, and without
fucking
multiple
Obama,
choice.
dude.
So,
yep. Shit.
God
you're
damn
making
it.
questions next week. You are hosting the show.
Oh, you just wait. You think those are fucking hard?
So
yeah.
What was the last name of
huh?
the first
Jordan.
captain?
Jordan takes the W 4-2, and we will be right back with Taproom Sports Podcast.
All right. That was our trivia this week. Fucking Ben got us good.
6 out of 20 points available.
Oh man, it
was
was
a little rough.
It was ugly. It was ugly. Hopefully Eddie brings it next week. He's probably gonna make even harder questions. Now that's what it's gonna all be about, dude. Is like who can stump
Raiders.
Who can stump everyone, dude? That's what it's gonna turn into. Interesting, man. That was fun though. It was fun. Let's hop into our second beer though, Ben.
Yeah, so we're going to be focused on the second beer tonight, and we are both going to be doing American lagers for our second beer of the night. Jordan, you want to start it off? You want me to?
Sure, go for it. You do it first.
All right, so I'm going to be doing an El Segundo Brewing Company out of El Segundo, California, and this is Steve Austin's Broken Skull American Lager coming in at 4.8%. I saw the can, and first thing I thought of was Pabst. So I had to buy this one, and then again, just saw that it was with Stone Cold Steve Austin's. I don't know if it was in a collaboration with him, to work with one of his charities out there, but it is can is signed by Stone Cold. So we'll see how this one is. And Jordan was telling me about this. He has drunk it on, we think it was a wager show, so it'll be interesting to see what I think of this beer compared to what he had for it. So what's beer number 2 for you?
Beer number 2 for me is actually one that Eddie brought up the other day, and I accidentally came across it, so I was like, I gotta get it now. And this is from Great Basin Brewing Company. They're out of Reno, Nevada, which is north of Las Vegas, actually. And this is the Leave No Trace Alpine Lager. So it's a 5%er, easy to drink lager, inspired by the pristine forest, lakes, and peaks surrounding us at the edge of the Eastern Sierra. So very interested to drink this one, especially because Eddie's drank it. So haven't drank it yet. This is the first one. I'm going to give my review at the end. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that.
Yep.
That's what she said.
That's what I meant to hit. The volume was down. But let's hop into the Masters, Ben. So obviously the Masters happened, came and went. Tiger Woods did play. Last week you said that you didn't think he was going to. And he not only did he play, he made the cut, dude. So that was awesome to see.
Cashed your bet, so
yes.
It's always a good thing.
That was dope. Yeah, I mean, I figured he played 3 rounds in a row. I was like, all right, he's for sure playing. Like, he wouldn't have done that if he wasn't not going to play. And yeah, he made the cut. He hasn't missed a cut in 21 years, so it continues. But he wasn't good after the first weekend. He really struggled at 78s on Saturday and Sunday. And he said today, look, dude, I just didn't have any leg strength at the end. I kind of used it all on that first round, and he got the 71. And he struggled the rest of the tournament. Do you think Tiger is gonna be back playing another major this year, Ben?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he already said that he's going to be, playing in the next few, at least few tournaments here, and I think he'll just continue to gain that strength that he needs to get deeper into, the weekend. I don't think he's going to be, winning any tournaments anytime soon, but I think he needs to get back out there for himself, and I think that's going to be good for his kind of mental health, just to get back out there to overcome this huge accomplishment of playing again after people said he was possibly going to be losing his leg. So
Yeah.
I think it's good for him to get back out and continue his kind of recovery and recoup into getting into another top player, like he was his whole career. So,
Yeah. I mean, like, I think he's gonna play a couple more tournaments. Barring any setbacks, like maybe he gets hurt again or something. Because I mean, that is like he almost did lose his leg. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, like, the first round was dope. It was awesome to see him out there competing. I think that was the biggest thing. And like, books were giving him like 500 to 1 odds after the first day, which tells you that he didn't really have a chance. But it was cool to see it, man. It was awesome to see it. What was your thoughts of the overall tournament? Because it didn't have much drama. Like, Scotty Scheffler basically took control in the after the second round and never really looked back. Rory made a run for it on Sunday.
Huge run today. Yep.
But he was too far back, dude. He started the round like +1, I think it was. So it was a little difficult for him. And he shot 64, dude. You know what I mean?
64, best round of the tournament.
Yeah.
He had a huge day. If he did that yesterday or on Saturday, and followed up with a even a 68 today, he would have been perfectly fine.
Who were the three futures you put out, Ben?
Scheffler, Rahm, and who was the other one? Didn't place in the top 10. I think we were talking about Rory, because you had Rory because he hadn't. This was the only like tournament he was missing, and falls short again. By 3 strokes. But I was kind of banking on Scheffler. I should have put that bet in, but after day 2, when I put my golf bets in, it just didn't have the value there. So
yeah, I mean, Scheffler won though. If you put that bet in on Scheffler, you would have cashed nicely.
Would have won something. Yep.
Two of my 3 picks made top 5 though, Ben.
Which was Morikawa and
Rory. Remember
McIlroy? Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Morikawa
for this. Go ahead. Sorry.
I thought Morikawa had a chance at one point until Scheffler fucking that Friday, and I was like, all right, that's toast.
Yeah. And Scheffler, I mean, 25-year-old as number 1 in golf is impressive.
Yeah, he's hot right now, dude.
Won now 4 out of his last 5 tournaments that he's played, which is incredible. He's absolutely incredible, especially for somebody who's so young. So
yeah, he's winning.
He's got a bright future.
Yeah, he's winning a lot.
Yep. And then to hear this morning that he, was in, as he said, crying like a baby to his wife, saying he's not sure if he's, ready for this yet, if he's, he's able to finish out the day and to come in and pull a 71, which wasn't again the best score, but it won him the tournament today. And huge props to him for getting that score today. With all the stress of the Masters, to shoot a 69, 67 and 271s, he was the only person to hit under 71 all 4 days.
Yep. He was under par every single day of the week, dude. And I mean, that Friday was damn near impossible for anyone to catch up to him. It would have been a miracle.
Yeah.
But I think that I mean, that's cool that he won and he dominated. But it was like, I think it kind of like lost its luster after Friday. Like, everyone's like, all right, Tiger's done. Scheffler's fucking he was like 8 strokes ahead. It was like, you
Yeah.
know, I don't know.
After
There's just no
Saturday,
drama, dude.
yeah, after Saturday when, Cameron Smith was close, um, it was there was something that could have happened. And I mean, you look at Zalatoris, you look at Morikawa, you look at McElroy, like they put up great numbers today. Even Shane Lowry, who got third in the tournament, like they definitely put a little bit of a run in today. But Scheffler just had a good day, so
Yeah, they were just too far
a little
back.
bit of drama, just nothing. Yeah, nothing much.
They made it a little interesting, a little interesting.
Little bit. Yeah.
All right, let's hop into some NBA. So obviously the season wrapped up today. We already heard Ben said it earlier. Frank Vogel got fired already, so he's out. I wanted to like really get your thoughts on the Lakers this season, because I mean it was a complete and utter disaster. LeBron only played 56 games. Anthony Davis played 40. But obviously like there's been all these rumblings about like all this blame game going on between the Lakers front office and Clutch Sports, which represents LeBron James. Just a lot of it's just been a crazy year, and I think the Lakers are probably just happy it's over with at this point. But like, what's your thoughts on like how the Lakers season kind of played out and where they're at now?
I mean, I don't think you can necessarily blame injuries. Like, yes, injuries are definitely important, but every team goes through them. And you've seen, injuries on, a lot of the teams that have made playoff spots. And, whether it's the Grizzlies, whether it's the Warriors, whether it's, the Nuggets, like at least in the Western Conference, the Pelicans, didn't have Zion all year. And they're still able to make the tournament. So, with the way that this season went, I think it's a bigger problem than just the injuries, that we see here with the Lakers. And there's, it's definitely, culture with AD, LeBron, and Westbrook. There's just too many cooks in the kitchen. And you talked about it at the beginning of the year. Westbrook and LeBron are just the same type of player. And when you have big egos going along with it, you're going to get backlash. And that's what we saw this year. And it wasn't pretty, especially with all the, I just love that, how they talked at the beginning of the season. Like, nobody's catching us. This is the dream team. We're not even going to win. We're going to win 40% of our games. Okay.
I always say the jokes often write themselves, the best ones. And
yeah.
This one kind of did, but I mean, you do have to understand though too is that like LeBron, Westbrook, and AD they didn't play a ton together, dude. Like because LeBron was hurt, Anthony Davis was hurt, so they really didn't get to integrate or try to integrate everybody, which I think hurt them. Because I said in the beginning of the year when we did our over unders, our top 5, I took the Lakers under, and part of the reason why was because Westbrook, like you said. Westbrook, LeBron James are very similar type players, but LeBron's a much better version of that. And I knew there was going to be chemistry issues. However, I did think that the Lakers at some point were going to get it together and at least make the playoffs and at least win a playoff series. But they didn't get that time together, and that kind of hurt them. And then outside of that, they have a bunch of dudes who are like good shooters but shitty defenders, or solid defenders but can't do anything else, and that's just not a good recipe in today's game. They could have traded Taylor Horton Jr. last year for Kyle Lowry. I mean, things would be much different right now, but hindsight's always 20/20, obviously. I mean, the Lakers they're in a bad situation, and I was kind of reminded by something Kevin Durant said a couple of years ago. And he said that the environment that comes along with playing alongside LeBron is toxic. And he wasn't necessarily saying LeBron is toxic. He's just saying that he brings so much attention, media, from fans, all that shit, that it's just a toxic environment to play in. And this season kind of like showed me that with all this drama going on. And you see like Westbrook getting upset with the reporters at the end of games and stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's been a fucking disaster, dude. Like I don't think anybody predicted them to be this bad. If you did, you're fucking a magician or something, dude. Like you're Biff. You have Biff's encyclopedia. I don't think anybody expected them to be this bad.
Well, and a question I have is, where is, like, what is AD doing? Because you've got one AD who's coming out and saying like, oh, we can't put all the blame on Russ. Like, it's a team sport, all of this, yada, yada. We all need to be better. But then, he comes out tonight after their final game and he says like him and LeBron are the core and they can get it done with no mention of Russ. And
I mean, let's be clear. Westbrook wasn't the problem. He was part of the problem, though. He's just not that guy that he once was, dude. And his game hasn't evolved and it hasn't adapted. And once you lose a step and you lose some athleticism and your game is like him, he relied on athleticism. I mean, it's ugly, bro. I mean, the guy averaged like 7 turnovers a game.
Yeah. But I mean, I'd say that AD didn't play anything up to his standard when he was in his games this year either. So
AD was terrible too.
I mean, I think, that's where I don't get yes, he's not placing the blame on Russ, but he's not placing any of the blame on himself. And just saying that, oh, well, LeBron and I can do this. So basically the problem was Russ.
Yeah, I mean, I think he just got caught out of words. I don't think he necessarily might have meant that. I mean, if he did, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be tough to trade Russell Westbrook. He's owed $43 million next year. And it is an expiring deal, so someone may be willing to take it on. I just don't know if it's going to be able to get moved before the season. It might be like a deadline type acquisition. And then if you're the Lakers, what do you do? You know what I mean? Because, I don't know if you could play Westbrook, LeBron, and AD together, and you don't have any money to spend anywhere else, so you're back to relying on veteran minimums, and guys are on veteran minimum deals for a reason because they're not as good as they once were, dude. Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be an interesting offseason for the Lakers, and I mean, I honestly, Ben, I would not be surprised if the Lakers traded Anthony Davis, dude. It would not shock me, bro, because like I said, they don't have any money, and I don't know what they can do. And maybe if you get some assets in return for Anthony Davis, maybe you flip an asset or two and, entice a team to take on Russell Westbrook, you know what I mean? And, then you can build around LeBron. But then again, LeBron's going to be 38 years old next year, and I don't know how much he has left in the tank because, he scored 30 points per game, but it was the most measly 30 points per game I've ever seen, dude. It didn't translate to wins. His production usually translates to W's, dude, and he's just not that dude because he doesn't do it on the opposite end.
Yeah.
So, the Lakers are fucked, basically. If you're a Laker fan,
absolutely.
If you're a Laker fan, you're probably going to be in a 4-year rebuild minimum. Obviously, they fired Frank Vogel, so they'll bring in another coach. Who knows who's going to want to coach that team? Because a good coach ain't going to want to go there.
Yeah.
Highly doubtful. But
I just look at this stat too: 3-13 against their division.
Yeah, well, I mean, look who's in their division: the Warriors, the Suns. I mean, it's just all bad for them, dude.
Yeah.
They're screwed. And the Clippers. The Clippers are only going to be better too. Clippers could take over LA, Ben.
They very well could.
Doubtful though. Clippers still can't sell
that much better. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they had Kawhi didn't even play a single game, and they made the playoffs.
That's true.
How do you see? So the play-in tournament starts on Tuesday. We have on the Western Conference. We have the Pelicans versus the Spurs, and we have for who's going to play the loser of the Wolves and Clippers, and then on the East we have Hawks versus Hornets to play the loser of Brooklyn and Cleveland. How do you see these play-in tournaments playing out?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Who is the higher seed is at home, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be in Minnesota. I think Minnesota can definitely take that game against the Clippers. That's but then again, Minnesota 4-6 in their last 10. And they're fighting for that spot.
They were kind of rested guys down the stretch though, because
did they?
Yeah, okay. The Western Conference is basically for the last week has been at least the playoff teams were there, and then
Yeah.
Like Minnesota they were like 6 games ahead of the Clippers, so there was like no way they were going to drop down.
Okay.
And then you see
Yeah,
the
and they're
Pelicans
still
only have
4,
36 wins, and the Spurs only have 34 wins. So I mean, there was no chance they
Yeah.
were moving up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Pelicans at home over the Spurs. Pelicans just have a better, uh, home field advantage there. It's pretty even throughout the season. Pelicans were 19 and 22, with the Spurs being 18 and 23 on the road. But I just see that home court advantage is going to be, with even teams. I think the Pelicans can probably take this. And then I would still probably go with the Timberwolves. Taking the Clippers there, at least for the first 4 games. Clippers 17 and 24 on the road.
The Spurs and
They did not play
Pelicans.
well.
The Spurs Pelicans game intrigues me because the Pelicans probably have the best player in that series in Brandon Ingram. But the Spurs are like they're pretty deep, dude. But they have a lot of inexperience, which could cause an issue for them because they have a lot of guys that never made the playoffs. But so do the Pelicans. But the Pelicans have C.J. McCollum, who's been in the Western Conference Finals, and then obviously Jonas Valanciunas, who has made deep runs with Toronto as well. I do think the Timberwolves beat the Clippers, but if Paul George, I mean, actually, I don't know, dude. The Clippers could very well beat Minnesota. That's gonna be an interesting game. But Minnesota should win that game. But again, a lot of inexperience on Minnesota. And then on the East, Charlotte, Atlanta is a good matchup. I think Atlanta is a little bit better.
Matchup there.
I think Atlanta is a little bit better. I think they're gonna pull that victory out. And then obviously, I think Brooklyn's gonna beat Cleveland, and Brooklyn will play Boston in the first round, and then then Cleveland.
I would love to see Cleveland take out the Nets, though.
I mean, they could, but they're kind of banged up.
Oh, absolutely. But how great would it be, for the Nets to be knocked out in the in the play-in tournament?
I mean, it would be crazy, but I doubt it.
It would. Oh yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see it happen.
It could be interesting. And that Boston Nets series could be very interesting because, I mean, whenever you got KD and Kyrie, you always have a chance, but Kyrie does not play well against Boston. So they're saying Ben Simmons may play in the first round, but, I mean, the guy hasn't played all year, so I'm not sure, how much he helps you. He hasn't really played with these guys. So, I mean, it's a lot of big question marks, dude.
Yep. That Charlotte-Atlanta game is going to be fun.
Yeah, that Charlotte-Atlanta game, that'll be a high-scoring game, dude. That'll be a very high-scoring game.
Yeah.
All right. It is... Oops, hold on. This is a song we need for Best Bets. It's that time of the night for our Best Bets of the week. Ben, last week, 4-0, clean sweep week. We both went 2-0.
Hot.
A thing of fucking beauty, baby.
Yep.
So start us off. What are your 2 best bets of the week?
All right, I got to get my notes up for this one. We're going to start with, we're going to do hockey. I want to keep going with baseball, but again, like I said earlier, it's just, it's tough to make solid bets with baseball in this first week or so, especially with the first time these pitchers pitch. So we are going to stick with hockey this week, and then next week we'll move into baseball. But for our first game, we are going to take Winnipeg minus 145 over Montreal. This is kind of at the high end of where I would take these bets. If it's anything over 150, minus 150, then I'm not going to be taking it. So this just slips in right underneath with minus 145. But Winnipeg is playing Montreal. Montreal has 0 to win for. Winnipeg is still pushing for their placement within the top 8 of the playoffs here. And Winnipeg is just the better team here. About half a goal better on offensively, and about 3/4 of a goal better defensively on the season. Big part of this problem is that Montreal gives up a lot of power play, opportunities, and Winnipeg is scoring at a 1-5 pace, so we're going to be seeing a power play goal from Winnipeg here. So we're going to take Winnipeg minus 145, and then we are going to parlay two teams that it is not valuable to take their money lines here. So we're going to go Toronto over Buffalo, Toronto scoring over a goal a game average, and allowing less than a half a goal a game on average compared to Buffalo. Buffalo is injured as well. So it is time to really put your money in Toronto here. And then we are also going to parlay them with Calgary over Seattle. This is kind of at this point of the year, Seattle doesn't really have anything to play for. Goal less per game and a goal allowed more per game than Calgary here. So numbers tell us to really push for Calgary here. I wouldn't go with a minus 1.5 because it can always be a close game, or you can get they'd be up by 2 and a 6-on-5 goal comes in. So I wouldn't go with that minus 1.5, but money line is going to be great value for this. So Toronto parlayed with Calgary, and then that Winnipeg minus 145.
Nice. My two best bets of the week, we're going over 9.5 runs, Texas and Colorado. Texas is second in the league in runs scored, only behind Toronto Blue Jays, who they lost to at a 3-2. But the Rangers can rake, dude. And the other thing is they cannot pitch. And the Rockies cannot pitch, and they can hit too. So we're going to take over 9.5 runs, Texas and Colorado. And then we're going to take Toronto Blue Jays money line. Alek Manoah is heading to the mound. He's 1-0 with a 2.31 ERA versus the Yankees in his career, which is only 1 year. That was last year. I'm expecting big things from Manoah this year. He's a former top prospect of the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays have the best offense in baseball. They showed it in the first series, and we knew it was going to happen. So give me the Blue Jays money line versus the Yankees, minus 108-ish about. I like it.
Yep. Hell yeah. All right, so let's go another 4-0 week. We'll get some make some money for y'all if you push these bets here. But it is time to get back to beer. It is we had the two American lagers that we both finished off on.
Yes.
I've been talking too much. I haven't been drinking enough of that. But we also had those our first beer. You had the Lambic. I had the Berliner Weiss. So tell me, how was your Berliner Weiss? Or sorry, your Lambic?
The Lambic was delicious, dude. Obviously I've had it before. It's very sweet. The mouthfeel is delicious. Like, it's something you could literally drink like 100 of those, dude, which is dangerous as fuck. But it's like a delicious beer. It's something like that's nice to pair with like a fish or a pasta. It's a beautiful beer, man. So that one I'm gonna give a 4.5 out of 5. And then the Great Basin Lager. It's a good lager, dude. It's not like my favorite lager I've ever had, but it's definitely like a lager you can drink over and over on a summer, like at a barbecue. It's a nice summer beer, dude, and it's perfect for right now. It's getting warm out here in Vegas. So, I mean, I'd drink it again. I would buy it again. So, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. How was your beers, Ben?
Nice. My beers were great. So, the first one that I had was the Berliner Weiss. This was the Absolutely Pog. And this was great. I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5. It was not overly, passion orange guava, which, I've seen within the other kind of Pog beers that I have. So it still left a lot of that kind of Berliner Weiss style, in the beer, which was great. It also wasn't overly tart. It did have a good pucker to it, but it wasn't something that overpowered it. And great mouthfeel, great clarity. And I think the best thing about this was the aroma that it provided with it. Just top level beer in my opinion. Man, I can't think of anything really bad for that, so we're gonna push it to a 4.7. She said. So nice. 4.75 out of 5 here. The El Segundo, Steve Austin's Broken Skull American Lager. Thought this was a really good beer as well. I was gonna put this at a 4.5. Thinking both of these were at 4.5s tonight, but we're pushing up that Absolutely a little bit. This was great. It was incredibly clear and crisp. It had a great aroma to it. It was something that you could really drink a lot of on a hot summer day, which is something that I'm looking for in lagers. The only thing I'd really knock down a little bit would be on the mouthfeel of this. It kind of left a little bit of a, almost of a film in your mouth as you're drinking it. And it's not something that was overly bad, but it was something that did kind of deduct a little bit out of it. So it wasn't as crisp as I thought it could be.
Look at that palate, dude.
Yeah, great beer here. So I'll definitely take both of these again.
Nice.
And they're both available at my local bottle shop, so I can. Good thing.
Hell yeah.
All right, so that was the podcast. Got to give our thoughts up to Dwayne Haskins out there. Definitely a horrible incident this weekend.
For
and
real.
Scheffler, you're a fucking asshole. But
Dude, what a fucking dumbass, dude.
Yep, bad look. Definitely a bad look. So you live and you learn, though, I guess. Whatever it is, though, Haskins, rest in peace. But that was the podcast. Make sure to to follow us on Instagram at Taproom Sports Podcast. You can check out our Twitter at Taproom_sports. You can check out Jordan's, which is at Jordan Rules TSP. We're on Facebook. Just search the Taproom Sports Podcast or visit our website where you can find all of our information. That's www.taproomsportspodcast.com. Make sure you check out Devour. Use promo code Taproom when signing up. You get $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. It is definitely well worth it. Make sure to check out all of our podcasts. We've got APR, which comes out on Thursdays or Fridays. Jordan is joined by Steady Eddie during the off season as they talk about the USFL and any NFL news that are coming up, throughout the week.
Yes, sir.
Make sure to check out TSP Wagers, where Jordan and I break down some games and build some bets. We were starting off baseball incredibly hot. I think we were 5-1 over our 6 bets that we placed off of this show.
Yep.
And make sure to check out In the Game for Jordan's other podcast where he talks about sports that are going on right now. I think he's got a great guest this week, correct?
Great guest.
Or is it going to be next week?
This week.
Yep.
This week we're going to be previewing NBA playoffs.
There we go. It's an awesome podcast. I definitely enjoy listening to that throughout the end of the week. So great stuff coming up from the Taproom Sports Podcast Network. Make sure to stay locked in, pay attention, hit those reminder buttons on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. It's definitely well worth it.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
Big Ball and Ben Larson here with Jordan Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, lads. We will see you next week.
Yes, sir. Have a good week, everybody.
Peace.